So you're thinking about moving to Overland Park, Kansas? Well, good news. In this video, we're going to be talking about some pros and some cons to living in Overland Park, Kansas. And if you stick around to the end, we're going to tell you the number one thing that you don't want to be caught without, or you will be down and out living in Overland Park, Kansas. We're going to get started right now. Hey, if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you know everything there is to know about living in Kansas City and places like Overland Park, Kansas, and click subscribe, hit that little bell for notifications so you can be the first to know of the current market here in the KC metro area. My name is Zach Morton. Business partner Max Jones here. The Mojo Real Estate team and I have been helping people move to Kansas City for over 20 years. We absolutely love it, but you don't have to take our words for it. See what our clients have to say with over 600 5-star Google reviews from people just like you. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, just pick up that phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, drop us an email, even schedule a Zoom call so we can chat with you about your goals and help you with that seamless transition into your new market. Now, all that contact information is in the description below, but today we're talking about Overland Park pros and cons. And let's start, we've got a list of pros and cons here. I don't want to give them all away, but let's start with the first one. We have the size of Overland Park and the amenities. So Overland Park is the largest suburb or city of Kansas City, either on the Kansas or Missouri side. So just briefly, so if you don't know, if this is your first time watching this stuff, Kansas City has a Kansas City, Missouri and a Kansas City, Kansas. So Overland Park is on the Kansas City, Kansas side. And it is over 75 square miles, has over 200,000 residents, and is actually the second biggest suburb or city in the whole state of Kansas. So pretty impressive. It actually took, in the early 2000s, it actually grew bigger than Kansas City, Kansas to take that number 2 spot. So pretty impressive there.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's huge, and it's got a great location in my mind. It's still really close to Kansas City City Center, just to the south and east of that, and then just kind of sprawls or goes south a long ways and almost goes the whole length of Johnson County. So just a really big, like 75 square miles. That's why we've got so many people. It's a big footprint of land. So other things we've got there are the amenities, parks, over 83 parks. There's over 1,800 acres of parks. Golf, we've got, what else can we do? Disc golf.
Yeah,
ponds.
There's a huge soccer complex there.
Yeah, there's the Shields soccer complex, and when they built that, it was like the biggest one in the nation. They have, I think they've got 9 or 12 full-size soccer fields. They're all turf, but one of the cool things is they're even cooled. They have a cooling system to them so they can control the temperature of the turf, so you're not, if you fall down, you don't burn your little tootsies.
Kids these days, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
I used to walk uphill both ways.
Yeah, no kidding. It was like, hope you didn't sprain your ankle, because there was like a little plug of grass and then a little patch of dirt, and you run out there tripping.
Yeah.
For something else.
Well, Overland Park does have it all. Botanical gardens and walking trails. I mean, it is, it's an amazing community as far as amenities are concerned.
Yeah, and a lot of those neighborhoods try to tap into some of those walking trails. So depending, kind of how it's laid out is you've got the North Park close to the city, and that's kind of those post-war, smaller, 1950s homes that are ranch-style homes that surround a nice little quaint downtown area, which is cool, kind of that Main Street vibe. It's actually called Santa Fe, which is kind of where Overland Park got its name, because everybody was, heading out west. The Missouri River kind of stops going west and starts going north right about Overland Park. So the settlers would get off, get all their, supplies, and then start that hike or that horse ride or that wagon ride out west. So the Overland Trail ran right down Santa Fe. It's now Main Street, so you can go walking down and get some food and have a good time right where the horse or the covered wagons used to go down the road.
Yeah, and contrary to popular belief, all you East Coast and West Coasters, we no longer take wagons to school or ride tractors to school in Kansas. We use cars nowadays, just like the rest of you guys.
Yeah, we don't all live on a farm either. Max spent some time in New York, and I lived on the West Coast for a few years, so we've heard it all.
Yeah. Yeah, most people, their primary understanding of Kansas is, what is that with Toto?
Oh yeah, Click Your Heels, Tornadoes, and Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, over the yellow brick road.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz is all that they know.
Yeah.
But you know, that's why we're here. We're trying to educate you on all things Kansas and Missouri, and today Overland Park, pros and cons. Yeah, I mean, amenities are amazing, huge city, and really great schools. If that's important to you, then Overland Park is probably the best in town.
Yeah, it's the number one. When we have clients that are like after school districts are coming into town, they're like, that's the number one place they want to start. This is kind of the area we direct them to, because across the board, you've got 4 school districts, but really the main one is called Blue Valley. And there's several. There's a Blue Valley North, there's an East, there's a Southwest. So there's a lot. It's a huge A+ rated. You can't go wrong with anything in Blue Valley across the board, from the high schools, the elementary. It's just great. It's sought after, and it's actually what people come here asking for a lot of times.
Yeah, the campuses are like college campuses. They are top notch. You know, the taxes are a little high. Well, we're not going to talk about cons yet. But that's how they go to. That's what they pay for is top notch schools with all the sports you could ever ask for. The college courses. It's a great place for kids and for school.
Yeah, and not just like the public school system, but I think there's 10 to 12 private schools, and they have, you know, every denomination. There's like Lutheran, Catholic, Christian, Jewish, Hebrew. What else was there?
Is it Japanese?
There's a Japanese one there I think it's a weekend one, but it's kind of an immersion thing on the weekends. And then there's even 2 Montessori schools, and there's a couple other that are non-religious. But you've got, and those are all highly rated. Usually when you go private school, they get higher ratings anyway, because they've got a little more control and usually a little more money in the system. But anyway, just across the board, education, education, education. And then not just to stop with the, you know, elementary through high school, we've got colleges out the wazoo there too. So nothing huge. You may have heard of some of these, but there are a couple community colleges and then a couple like satellite campuses. So I think there's almost 10 or 12 college campuses that are in Overland Park as well. So lots of options.
Yep. If you need to get educated, then Overland Park's a good place
Probably
to do
the spot to go, yeah. There's some great resources like greatschools.org and niche.com, and, you know, a mile-long list of other ones if you want to go in and kind of look at specific schools and get some numbers, but those are great resources.
All right. Yeah, so the layout of Overland Park is kind of interesting. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's kind of shaped, I would say it's shaped like a Christmas tree. It's a super ugly Christmas tree, so don't hold me to that. But at the top, it's kind of skinny where it's up by Kansas City.
The way you draw.
Yeah, the way I draw. I need one of the art classes for one of these education centers here. But so yeah, it starts kind of like a Christmas tree. It's kind of pointy at the top, closer to Kansas City. And that's where the 50s styles home, that's where it all kind of started. That's where our little main downtown is, which is really cool and quaint, by the way. But then as it goes south, it spreads out. That's where we see the houses start getting a little bigger. A lot of why that happened is, you know, back in the 50s, interest rates were really high. So you didn't have, it costs a lot of money to build a house, so the houses were small. They needed to make them quick, so ranches, they put them up. Then as rates started to drop, people were able to afford more houses, so the construction just kept getting bigger. So you're going to see that as you move from north to south through Overland Park, that they're going to get small and older and new and bigger, and just keep going all the way till you get to the south, and you're looking at like estate style lots on acreage. With, I think the highest priced property that sold last year was $7.5 million. So really the sky is the limit out there, and that's kind of how it's laid out. There's 3 great highway systems because it is such a big suburb that it's nice to have. On the west side, we've got 35 north or south. I always call it 35 north, but it runs north and south, and that'll run you right into the city center, and it's right on the edge of Overland Park on the west side. So it's a great highway. Everybody uses it to get in. It does get heavily trafficked, but Kansas City traffic, it's really kind of a joke, unless you're coming from a farm out in the middle of nowhere. Then we have 435, which is a loop that circumvents the whole city. That kind of runs through right through the middle of the south half of Overland Park. So that's going to give you access to get on other highway systems, or just, you know, shoot right on up to the airport and avoid a lot of that major city traffic. And then they put in this highway system called 69 Highway. Runs right up and down the middle of Overland Park. So it just makes it easy to get home and get up and down through Overland Park. So you can just hop on that highway, get off, jump either way, get to home or to the shopping or to wherever you're going. So that's in general kind of how it's laid out. One of the things I like about it being on the south side of the city and so long and having all those great highway access is that it puts you close to some of the other amenities that, you know, Kansas and Missouri have, which is like the Lake of the Ozarks. I know you've got some friends, we both have some friends that have lake houses. Lots of people.
Yeah, you know, if the airport's clear on the north side, so a lot of people live up north, but if you live on the south side of town, you're an hour closer to the lake. So if that's important to you, cruising down to the lake, Overland Park, and you know, South Kansas City is a good place to do it.
Yeah, and it's not exactly like the TV show, The Ozarks. There's a lot of fun things going on down there. In fact, I think it was filmed in a completely different state. But there's like, you know, restaurants. This Lake of the Ozarks is really built up with restaurants. You can Airbnb a ton of houses down there. You can rent boats and jet skis, and just, it's a wild place, man. Big waves, and it's like the ocean out there. But there's also several lakes around the Ozarks that are equally just as fun if you're more into fishing or camping and you don't want the big high power boats and waves. There's lots of stuff down there. There's people go down there to go on float trips because we've got these natural spring-fed rivers that are super clear, full of trout, full of smallmouth bass. Yeah. Branson has Table Rock Lake, which is amazing, and then we just went down to Beaver Lake, which is actually in Arkansas, but no further away than Table Rock or the Lake of the Ozarks, and just awesome boat life down there. Yeah, nice clear water. So really, if you want a high energy powered, full of bars and restaurants and things to do lake, we got that. If you want to just have a chill family style lake with marinas and a couple restaurants, there's that. There's just a lot going on at the lakes down south around the Ozarks. So all summer long, people are heading down that direction. We go 3 times a year. So it's being on the south side just makes it that much nicer.
Lake Perry is really cool too. It's a lot closer. It's more west, kind of down I-70. Yep. But we ought to go check that out sometime.
Yeah.
Take the boat out there.
Absolutely. And Clinton Lake too. So lots of options over there. What else do we've got here? No e-tax.
Yeah, that is a pain in the neck for Kansas City Missourians. They have a 1% earnings tax on is it on their gross, isn't it?
Yeah, on it. Yep.
On their gross income. So just a little extra kick in the pants by the tax man to the city of Kansas City. And you know, I'm not sure exactly what it
goes towards, like trash. Most of the businesses in Kansas City are in downtown on the Missouri side, Kansas City. So that goes to pay for a lot of that downtown police support, trash hauling off, road maintenance. So that's what it goes for. So if you work in Kansas City, Missouri, or live in Kansas City, Missouri, you can be subject to that 1%. But by being in one of these suburbs, right here.
Count me as one of them folks.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm happy to support the police. But gosh, writing that check is never fun.
Yeah. But makes the world go round.
Are we
so.
talking about cons? I'm starting to get a negative out.
No, it's a con for you, but a pro for everybody.
We're talking about Overland Park,
Overland
not
Park.
me. I
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And then the last one that we have on the list for the pros, there's lots of pros. We could go on all day. So if you want to talk more pros, give this pro a call. But the last one we have is the shopping, the malls. I mean, when you think shopping in Kansas City area, where's the number one place that comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, Overland Park for sure. The Plaza is also a good spot, but yeah, Overland Park has Town Center on 119th Street that is just amazing. There's a few stores out there that Restoration Hardware that my wife is not allowed to go to, so hopefully she's not watching this video because that you can get in trouble quick there.
Yeah.
But tons of awesome places to shop for clothing and furniture and jewelry and everything you can shop for. Groceries.
Yeah, absolutely. So if there's like a place that you wanted to go to get everything, so the Plaza, which he was talking about, which is downtown Kansas City, it's really condensed. So it's fine, shopping, fine dining, but it's condensed into like, I don't know, 6 blocks.
Yeah, tiny little area.
6 yeah, 6x2 maybe blocks, which is nice. It's cozy, you can walk it all. But Overland Park's it has its shopping districts or areas, and it's got anything you could ever want. So 10 times the amount of shops that you're gonna find at the plaza. So that's, if you want variety, I mean, you can go out there all day. I can't, because I can shop for about an hour and then I start sweating and anxiety kicks in and like, what am I doing here? But some people can and do and have fun with that. But yeah, restaurants, some of the 5-star dining, Bristol Seafood, there's several steakhouses mixed in with all that shopping, the Cheesecake Factory. So all that fine dining is around all of that shopping, and Town Center's the biggest, baddest spot, but there's also, you know, other little shopping strip mall areas that kind of have their own flavor and vibe too that you can visit as well. That
Oak Park Mall is still going. It's been around a long time, and one of the last malls, the indoor old school malls that
a couple stories. That's we both live up north, which is 20 30 minutes depending on traffic from Overland Park, but my daughter will drive down to go to Oak Park Mall because she's 16 now and just found out about freaking Oak Park Mall.
The secret's out.
The secret's out. So yeah, they frequent that because a lot of the other malls that were in the Kansas City area just died over the years and been torn down, and now they're Topgolfs and other fun things. But Oak Park Mall has just held its place. And
yeah, it's kind of been a trend in Kansas City. I don't know about your city, but where they are doing more outdoor walkability malls, and I don't know that that was really going over too well, because people love to go and park and go inside and stroll the mall and hang out and catch a movie and a place to eat and great places to shop for your clothes and stuff. So it's still Oak Park Mall is still really successful, and
it's hopping. So just another place, got your indoor and your outdoor. And then, along with that, Max mentioned groceries. So all the grocery stores that Kansas City offers, you're gonna have at least 2 or 3 or 5 of them in Overland Park. And we're talking like anywhere from the basic ones, which Hy-Vee, Price Chopper, Aldi's is kind of our basic grocery stores. They're all gonna have organic options. But then we do have the Whole Foods, the Sprouts, the natural grocers that are more dedicated to that. They're all going to be in Overland Park as well. Trader Joe's, yeah. And then there's even there's like an Asian food market, Mexican food. So there's even the specialty stores as well. So this place really has everything. If you're looking for a diversity of things and options and everything, Overland Park's the place to be.
Yeah, I would say the diversity of people too. Is reflective of the options that you have there. I mean, it's such a huge place with such a huge population that it has diverse people and diverse places and things to do.
Just more opportunities and more people. So that's it.
Yeah, a lot to like, a lot of pros. But
yeah, we could go on forever, but we got to get into the nitty gritty here, right? We got to keep it real.
And stick around, because there's that one thing that you don't want to get caught without. That's probably the biggest negative of all.
Yeah.
I'll save that for the end.
Yeah. All right. Our first one is like topography. It's kind of flat, right?
Yeah.
There's no mountain views.
No great views of anything really.
That's pretty much Kansas City in general. There's a couple of places to the east and down by the river too where you get some undulating hills. But yeah, for the most part, that's just where the plains.
Well, there is a place in Kansas City called Grand View.
Yeah.
So
you can check out our vlog on Grandview.
Yeah, don't miss our vlog on Grandview, because it's the one spot in town where you can get a view, but not in Overland Park.
Yep, not in Overland Park. So yeah, flat. So that's one of our cons. Not a lot going on there. That's pretty much Kansas City in general. So, but it's just something to know when you come out this direction. You're gonna lose your views. The next one was it's a little more expensive than a lot of the other suburbs in Kansas City, and a lot of that we talked about. You got those A+ schools, so that's going to just make taxes are higher. People want to be there. They want to pay more. It brings property values up. So just everything's a little more expensive in Overland Park, but it still puts those average price points in a decent spot. It's a little bit above the national average, but it's not crazy. So we still feel that it's a pretty sweet spot for all the amenities, especially when you compare it to the rest of the world, or the rest of the US.
Yeah, relative to, San Diego, it's really nice. Prices are cheap. You'll feel like like you're rich in Overland Park. But relative to other areas in Kansas City, it's definitely on the high side.
Yep. So that's one of our cons. We've got distance to the airport and traffic. So as being the biggest city and being on the south side, it does put you a little ways away from the airport. So if you have one of those jobs where you're traveling a lot, you just something to consider. Maybe map that out, take that drive a couple times and make sure that that's what you want. Because there are places you can live that are like 10 minutes from the airport. We've got a brand new airport, which makes parking easy, getting in and out easy, so everything flows really nice. But if you're gonna be traveling, especially during rush hour to get to the airport a lot.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I mean, we work with people all the time that commute from the Northland to Overland Park to work and vice versa. But it's just at 9 in the morning and 5 in the evening is a bear. 35 highway gets backed up, and it's a little bit of a nightmare if you have to commute during those times. But if you're flexible with when you can commute, a little earlier in the day or a little, around lunchtime, then there's nowhere in Kansas City that's bad. Really, you're 30 minutes from anywhere in Kansas City. The highway system here in our town is phenomenal. So that's a great town for driving.
Yeah, and while we're talking about that, trying to get to work and that commute, there is actually, so Overland Park has, just as a pro to this con, has some of the biggest employers of the city are actually in Overland Park. So if you happen to have a job or you're looking for a job, I mean, don't just look at Kansas City, look in Overland Park, because there's engineering firms, there's tech, there's financial firm. There is a lot. In fact, there's like corporate woods on the south side that's nothing but high rises and just set up kind of a corporations in Overland Park. So you don't necessarily have to be driving into the city if you pick up on, hospital systems, there's tons of hospitals out there. The school district's massive, so if you're teachers, hospitals, financial, insurance, there's lots of engineering, there's lots of opportunities that are gonna keep you out of the city, let you live where you work where you live.
Garment, well, actually that's Olathe, but Olathe is adjacent to Overland Park. Their world headquarters is in Olathe. Cerner, which was just bought by Oracle, a lot of their offices are in that area.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, right off like 35 as you head south out of the city, all around that, there's going to be a lot of, and then 435, there's going to be a lot of businesses. So there's a lot of options that are going to keep you out of the city. And I mean, we see a lot of people, I see more people working there than I do people that I know than going downtown, but kind of the trend. So we've got that. The next one that's kind of fun to talk about on my cons is bugs. Bugs, things that'll bite you, things that'll kill you, things that will you just need to know about if you're walking around out in the forest and the trees. So we'll just touch on those real quick.
Yeah, Kansas City is, it's got some mosquitoes and some lightning bugs and spiders, and the locusts are out right now. It's in the summertime. Remember that client you had that thought that an alarm was going off?
Yeah, I had a client from New York, and you lived in New York. Did they have those out there? I don't know if she must have lived downtown.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but her first night here, they thought that like Kansas City was getting bombed or something, like the sirens were going off, and it's not. It's the locusts, or cicadas. I don't know I've heard them called both, but it's a bug about that big with some wings. I don't even think they have mouths at that point. They go through a couple stages and they just like fly around and mate, but they all sync up somehow, and I can hear them right now. And they do this, and they go all night long. In fact, when I moved back from Oregon, I had got my dog out in Oregon. We did not have cicadas or locusts in Oregon. When I moved back, it was summertime, and I was over at my parents' house. Didn't have my house yet. We were waiting on it to close on it, so I was staying at my parents' house. And went to go take my dog outside to go to the bathroom, and she freaking stopped at the door and would not. And I was like, "What is going on?" And then we figured out it was just the sound of the bugs.
Yeah.
If you're not used to it, it can be pretty alarming.
Yeah. When you live here, you just kind of block it out and don't even think about it any longer. But it is pretty loud.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that was the best cicada impersonation I've ever heard.
So go ahead, let's see what you got.
No. I think they rattled their butts to make that noise, don't they?
Yeah. I don't know. Rattle your butt. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, I'm not even going to give it a try.
Okay.
What about snakes?
Snakes. So yeah, I don't see a lot of them, but we do have rattlesnakes in the state of Kansas and Missouri. I've only heard one in my life. I got out and hunt a little bit and walk around, but I've never actually seen one. But hearing it's enough, you know, it sounds just like you'd expect. Step away, and then there is a copperhead, which is venomous, and I think that's it.
Water moccasin?
Oh, water moccasin maybe. I don't know if I've ever seen one of those, but there's a few venomous ones. I don't personally know anybody that's been bitten. I've never been bitten. I've just seen one. You know, snakes are just as scared as you are of them. Yeah. So they're usually going the other direction. But if you're out, there's a lot of hunting land. A lot of people hunt around here, and if you're out in those warmer months, I mean, you can stumble across that stuff.
Yeah. What other venomous stuff do we have?
We have spider. We have the brown recluse. Which is a spider that it's a little bitty spider. Well, it's got a little body with these long legs, so they can get, I don't know, the size of that. And they have a violin, an upside down violin on their back is they're brown and they have an upside down violin on their back. And they are venomous. If they bite you, you don't like instantly die, but over a week or a few days, you'll get like a little spot that'll become infected and start to grow, and
arm falls off.
Your arm could eventually fall off if you don't get on antibiotics. So.
And the black widow.
Oh yes, the black widow.
That also has a violin, right?
That has a hourglass.
Ooh.
I think a red hourglass. I've only seen a couple of those in my life, but those, yeah, when you see them, you definitely know something's not right. Like, you don't want to mess with that thing. It's a black one with a huge round butt, like a grape almost, and a big red hourglass on it, and it looks wicked. Yeah. And none of these come out after you. Like the brown recluse, it's called a recluse because it's reclusive. They hide in corners and catch stuff, so you hardly ever see them. And then the black widow, like I said, I've only seen 2 in my life. And I can't think of any other spiders that we have. We have big ones. There's actually, I was camping once and saw a tarantula, but they're non-venomous. There's wolf spiders, which are huge and scary, but you can hold them in your hand. They won't hurt you. I live on a lake.
I won't hold them in my hand, but you might.
I live on a lake, and we've got these spiders that make webs all over your pontoon boats and catch the mosquitoes. They get pretty big, but they won't hurt you, so.
Yeah, lots of dumb ways to die in Overland Park.
Yeah.
You got tornadoes.
Tornadoes, yeah. While we're talking about that creepy crawly stuff, there is tornadoes. We're in Kansas. You mentioned Wizard of Oz and Toto and the Yellow Brick Road. So yeah, tornadoes are a real thing. I don't lay awake at night worrying about them because it's, I guess don't live in a trailer park. That's in Kansas. I probably would never do that.
They always hit the trailer parks.
Yeah, for some reason. I think they always hit everything, and the people in the trailer parks are just, when your house isn't connected to the ground, it tends to affect you more. But for the most part, they do come through. I've known people who have had their house taken out. I don't know anybody that's died from it. And when I say house taken out, it like ripped off a corner of the roof or something, peeled off some shingles. But they are a real thing. We get a lot of warning around here, so not only will your phone go beeping and go crazy, you'll hear sirens. There is a siren every, quarter mile in every neighborhood, every major area. And as those warnings come through, you'll hear the sirens, like maybe coming from the south or the west or the east, wherever the storm's coming from. And as it's getting closer to you, you'll hear the sirens kick on, which lets you know it's coming your way, and to get in the basement.
Yeah, and they test that warning system on the first Wednesday of every month.
At 11.
So don't panic when you're headed to work and the siren's going off.
Yeah, good point, because that could be quite alarming. No pun intended. And then the other thing I just wanted to touch on while we're on things that can kill you is the vegetation. And this probably won't kill you, but poison ivy and poison oak.
If you're allergic to it,
I'm allergic to it. It absolutely ruins my day, and not just the day, usually like 2 weeks after, because it just spreads. So anyway, you'll want to know what that looks like before you get here, and you're going to want to avoid running through forest in the fall and waist-high weeds is a bad idea because there's something else in those weeds that'll ticks.
Oh boy. Yeah, you do not want to get in a mess of ticks.
Yeah, those are, I don't know. There's the little baby ones that can get on you and the big ones. And anyway, long story short, some of them can carry diseases, and I just don't like messing with ticks anymore.
Lyme disease.
I used to mushroom hunt quite a bit, and in the season, it was in the early spring is when you mushroom hunt for morels out here, which are sweet that we have them, but that comes with ticks a lot of times, no matter how much off you spray on you, and then you're covered in chemicals. I don't know, it's just not my thing anymore. Not worth the ticks.
I think they sell them by the pound.
Yeah, you can buy them by the pound, and they're delicious. So that's it. I can't think of anything else dangerous and deadly that you got to watch out for here.
No, the only deadly thing that left on our cons list is the taxes.
Yeah, that can kill you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it can kill you. The sales tax won't kill you, but it is higher than the rest of the area, coming in at 10.1%. Where I think the rest of the area averages in like the 7.8 or something.
Yeah, it's around in the 7s to 8s. It's it goes up every year. Kansas City has its tax, Kansas has its tax, and you have Johnson County has a tax, and then Overland Park has a tax. It all totals up to that 10.1% on any goods or services bought in Kansas. But that's just how life is. Death and taxes, right?
So if you're going to buy something really expensive, you might want to.
Yeah, it might be worth looking around.
Go outside of Overland Park.
Yeah, maybe hop into Missouri, check theirs out.
Yeah.
Buying a car or something. Yeah, definitely something to consider.
Or just bite the bullet and pay the tax man.
Yeah. So with those taxes, you're gonna, other taxes. There's lots of taxes when you live in Missouri or Kansas. You do have income tax for the state, federal. There is property tax that you're gonna pay. Usually that's about 1.15% of the value. But you don't go off that. There's tax levies and all this other information. A lot of those property taxes are posted so you know what you're getting into when you're looking at real estate. But just lots of taxes across the board. I've lived in states that don't have sales tax. I don't know what New York was like while you were there, but
no, they have
plenty of taxes.
State income tax, yeah.
Plenty of taxes, yeah. But we didn't have sales tax on the West Coast. I know Florida doesn't have sales tax, but my experience with all that is, unless you're like retired and looking to park somewhere that doesn't, you're really trying to get your budget set, it all kind of shakes out in the wash at the end of it. You might be saving here, spending there. So I guess if you're trying to tax hack your situation, you probably have studied that enough to know like the 3 states you can be in because that's your goal. But other than that, I think it all kind of shakes out.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. And then while we're talking about taxes and prices, the average, we said that the house prices are a little more expensive, so that could be kind of a con, so I want to throw it in there. And last year, the median house price over 2,500 homes that sold was right at $429 for the sold price. We have our median active price right now at $758, so $758,000. So that's up there quite a bit, especially compared to the national average.
Yeah, the reason for that is there's a ton of new construction that is on the market. Since rates have gone up, there's been a little bit of new construction sitting, and that is affecting the median price.
Yep.
Everything else is selling, that gets listed in the 4s is selling like hotcakes and not sitting on the market. So that skews that.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. And then even all the way up to the highest priced home that sold in Overland Park in the last 12 months was $7.5 million. So really the sky's the limit out here. From custom estate style construction with massive pools and trails and all kinds of amenities. That's totally doable here. But you can also get in close to that $450 price point. I mean, even cheaper. We're talking averages here, but get a really nice house that's cozy in a great school district and has everything you need.
All right, well, you know what, Zach? I don't want to be down and out in Overland Park, so what is this one thing?
This number one thing you need to know before you consider moving here?
Yeah, I don't want to know.
It's gonna be, if you want to have a decent life, you're gonna need a car out here.
Oh, well, good, I've got it.
It's not super walkable. In fact, a lot of the ratings and when people start voting, it's not, I mean, Kansas City in general is not a great walkable place if you're gonna live here. and Overland Park, follows suit that. It's just not really set up well for public transportation. We do have the Ubers and the Lyfts and all that going on. There's ways to get around without a car if that's what you want to utilize. But for the most part, us Midwesterners all have cars.
Yeah.
And most of the time too, if you have a wife.
Yeah. The walkability of Kansas City is pretty terrible in general, but Overland Park especially is spread out. And if you want to live and work and walk to the grocery store and carry your groceries home and stuff, this is not the place to do that.
Now you probably could get one or two of those things together, but you're not going to get them all. So, if you want to live close and walk your kids to school, a lot of these,
yeah, that's true.
A lot of these schools are right around subdivisions, so you could probably pull that off, but then you're not going to be walking to the store. If you want to be able to walk to the little old downtown and have entertainment, a little bit of nightlife, you can probably do that, but then you're not going to be walking to the grocery store. So you just kind of have to weigh that out, see what's important to you, but you're definitely not going to be walking to everything.
Yeah, and that's really what it comes down to for all of our clients, our buyers, our sellers, is it's really a matter of what are your priorities. A lot of it's price, timing, or convenience, and those priorities, sometimes you don't really know until you get started in the process of working with us. And that's really part of our job, is to help you uncover and discover what your priorities are and focus in on those and to get what you want and what's really important to you.
And that's what we're here for.
Heck yeah, and we love it. So we're running on here a pretty good time on the video, so we're gonna get out of your hair. But thank you so much for tuning in for the pros and cons of Overland Park. We are also going to have a video of the top 5 subdivisions for Overland Park, so feel free to check that out. We've got a Overland Park vlog that Zach just did, so check out that video too. Like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching.